Martin asked me to begin with a poem by Ghalib. And Ghalib is, some of you know Kabir, who comes in a long line of the Indian poets who speak to God and ask him to answer the letter. Most of the time, God doesn't answer the letter. But they were always hopeful that God would answer the letter. And Ghalib is the last in that line, 19th century. Still loved in India everywhere. Quoted in Congress all the time. I'll just read you this little poem. If King Jamshid's diamond cup breaks, that's it. But my clay cup I can easily replace, so it's better. The delight of giving is deeper when the gift hasn't been demanded. I like the God seeker who doesn't make a profession of begging. He's got a little edge on him, you know. It's very interesting. For 10 years in Bombay, he was never invited to give a poetry. And I said, why? And I said, well, because Indian poetry by this time had become very pleasant, and people had it in living rooms, and, you know, they just drank a little. And he made people think, and they hated that. Third stanza. When I see God, color comes into my cheeks. God thinks this is a bad mistake, then I'm in good shape.
Exactly.
That's very good, isn't it? When I see God, color comes into my cheeks. God thinks this is a bad mistake, then I'm in good shape. And here, another one of his stanzas was, your promise determined my life, but it was not believable. If I had believed it, I would have died of joy anyway. Here he says, when a drop falls into the river, it becomes the river. When a deed is done well, it becomes the future. This is what he does. He does these little two-line things, and they can be quoted anywhere, and, you know, whatever. When a drop falls in the river, it becomes a river. When a deed is done well, it becomes the future. His last stanza. I know that heaven doesn't exist, but the idea is one of Ghalib's favorite fantasies. That's great, isn't it? So here's one in about, these are written in little couplets. Every couplet is separate. There isn't any line going through the poem. Every couplet is separate, can be recited separately. Then you put 6 or 7 of them together, you still don't know what the poem is about. So everyone can figure that out themselves. So it's very interesting. It's like little planets around some invisible sun. So here's one, my spiritual state. The longing for something to happen is one form of hope, but I don't see how anything in my life can end well. Nice, huh? You know, the longing for something to happen is one form of hope, but I don't see how anything in my life can end well. Their funeral date is already decided, but still people complain they can't sleep. Isn't that great? See, the old idea is the day you die has been decided a long time ago. And if you find a good someone from the Middle East and pay her money, she might tell you. But she might lie to you too. But he said, their funeral date is already decided, but still people complain they can't sleep. When young, my love, I don't know how to say it, my love disasters, my love shipwrecks. When I was young, my love shipwrecks made me burst out laughing. Now even funny things seem sober to me. Ouch. When I was young, my love, I don't know what to say here, volcanoes, disasters, catastrophes, made me burst out laughing. Now even funny things seem sober to me. Next one. Some secret power keeps me mute and dumb. I know a lot about talking, so it's clear that words could come. Is that right? We can't talk about what we really want to say. Some secret power keeps me dumb. I don't want you to think of dumb like stupid, but dumb. Some secret power keeps me mute or silent. Is that right? Silent? I know a lot about talking, so it's clear words could come. Why should I scream so? Because I can stop. Why do I scream so? Because I can stop. Perhaps God notices Ghalib when he stops screaming. And that's an incredible sort of a new addition to the whole tradition, is if you scream loud enough, God will notice you. And he says, well, I don't think so. Why should I scream so much? Because I can stop. Perhaps God notices Ghalib when the scream does not come. Or perhaps God notices Ghalib when he stops screaming. Which one do you prefer? Perhaps God notices Ghalib when he stops screaming. Is that right? That's better than when the scream does not come. Yeah. Okay, one more. This is the spiritual state I am in. About me, about myself, there isn't any news. Isn't it? It's brave, this son of a bitch, isn't he? This is the spiritual state I am in. About me, about myself, there isn't any news. So I'll do the whole thing once more without talking, and then just get this feeling of a kind of athletic leaping from one of the ideas to the next, and yet they all hang together in some way. The longing for something to happen is one form of hope, but I don't see how anything in my life can end well. Their funeral date is already decided, but still people complain they can't sleep. When young, my love disasters made me burst out laughing. Now even funny things seem sober to me. Some secret power keeps me silent. I know a lot about talking, so it's clear that words could come. Why should I scream so much? Because I can stop. Perhaps God notices Ghalib when he stops screaming. Well, this is the spiritual state I'm in. About me and about myself, there isn't any news. Okay, that's your Ghalib for today.